New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FIELDGOAL. Bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. 21 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Bonus issued as bonus bets. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby.
You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin Betts, baby.
All right, here we are. The Super Bowl edition of the Benjamin Betts podcast. I'm with my co-host here, my best friend Jared. I'm Corey. We're going to lay it down to you. We're finishing the NFL season strong. We've had a great playoff run. But Jared, are you ready to hit some big parlays on this Super Bowl?
I'm ready, baby. We ain't got no internet this morning, but we got that.
We ain't got no internet. But we're ready to win money for charity. Who needs internet? Who needs it? Because Jared, remember back in, like 94, we were 6 years old. We didn't have the internet. You don't need that.
We didn't have the internet, but apparently, according to our producer, Mike, we're not worthy of discussing such times because we're just a bunch of youngins.
I remember when I had to pick up the roto phone and call my bookie in Vegas to make these bets. I remember. But here we are. We're still able to do this. So we're going to make this simple. We're going to start off. We're going to tell you who we think is going to win. We're going to give you an over-under as well for the game. And then we're going to package 4 3-leg parlays for you. I'm going to do 2. Jared's going to do 2. Maybe we do a big one. I don't know, Jared. We still probably need to do a big one, right?
I think we let the mojo flow, and we'll see when we get there. If we're
okay.
I mean, we always talk about how Thanksgiving went so poorly for us. I'm a little hesitant, but at the end of the day, I'm not against it.
I will never forgive the turkey trio. That was the absolute worst thing ever. So forget that.
Rough.
All right. Do you want me to kick it off, or do you want to kick it off?
I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to kick it off with who we think is going to win the game.
Okay.
I think these teams are very evenly matched, but my gut, like when I wake up, when I go to bed in the morning, and I'm honestly asking myself, like, who do I think is going to win the game? Mm-hmm. I'm going with Vegas. Vegas has Philly as the favorite, and I agree with them. Regardless of whether, Patrick Mahomes, is he 100%, is he not? Collectively as a team, both sides of the ball, I think Philly is the better team. And the more important factor for me is I think they're the hungrier team.
Okay. You just think they want it more?
I do. And it comes down to a lot of things, right? Like, how fortunate are they to have Jalen Hurts on the contract that he is on, which enables them to bring a lot of talent now on both sides of the ball. You can't do that with Patrick Mahomes, right? You can't do that with some of these other big contracts on the Kansas City ball. So they still made it work. They've done a phenomenal job. But, this team is made to win now because their superstars not making that much money.
Yeah. I remember when the season was about to start, and you're always tempted to look at the schedules, and you're like, oh, this team has easiest schedule, or this team has the hardest schedule, and you don't really know yet because you're not sure how teams are going to pan out during the year. But Philly had the easiest schedule, like it was just cakewalk for them. And I remember people, talking about, man, if they just win all these games, like they're going to be the number 1 seed, and back then it was like hard to kind of fathom that. But then as the season went on, they're winning those games, they're beating the bad teams. But they were doing it in a way that didn't feel like the Giants were winning all those games in the beginning. Cause you're like,
right.
I don't trust this team, but the way Philly played and having that cheap quarterback, they can build a big team around him. Offense and defense were really good. I do. They've been a team on a tear, and I think they've been from start to finish probably the best team overall. So,
and it's really ironic too, because at the beginning of the season, everybody was talking about the strength of the AFC West, right? Super division. All 4 of these teams are going to be going to the playoffs. And man, that is not the case at all. Like
no.
that division crashed hard. Chargers still made the playoffs. That's fine. They're still a growing team. But then you look divisionally at who Philly had to play. Every single team there was a good team. The Redskins were not an easy out. The Giants were in the playoffs. The Cowboys were in the playoffs. Yeah. And I to me, they are the better battle-tested team. They're both here. Anything can happen. But I'm taking the Eagles -1.5 for our first bet today.
All right. Eagles -1.5. I love it. I think it'll be a close game. I can see the Eagles probably going in the 4th with a decent lead. Maybe Kansas City cuts it close. Who knows if Patrick Mahomes' ankle is going to hold up the whole game. He might get it tweaked up. Who knows those things? But I love it. Let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly. Is that their motto or something? Go, Eagles, go.
We'll say it is. We'll say
I think it's
sure.
fly. I'm going to say it is too. All right. Well, then I'll go with the over-under here for the game. It's played in where? Arizona? Where the game's played?
It's warm out there.
Warm. The air is thin, or is it thick? It's one of the two. The ball flies there. Many a career have been resurrected with the Cardinals, right? Carson Palmer and Kurt Warner. Yeah, Kurt Warner. Yeah, sure. It's a quarterback. Let's just throw the ball around. So we see high score here. 50.5 is the over under. Well, let's go over, Jared. Let's go over. And for those people that maybe you're playing squares with your family and friends, or you want to predict an exact score, let me smell it in the air real quick. I think 31-28 Eagles.
Ooh,
31-28. That
I like it.
I'm feeling that one, Jared. I don't know. It just feels right to me. 31-28.
I like it.
So mark that down.
We're going Eagles. We're saying Eagles, and we're saying a high-scoring game. And if it turns out to be your game, that sounds like a game, a Super Bowl that I would actually enjoy watching.
I think this is going to be a really good one. I just the quarterbacks are both high level. The defenses, Philly just has a better defense, but Kansas City is wily and they're scrappy. And I don't think Patrick Mahomes, even hobbled, I don't think gets blown out. That happened, I think, in the Tampa Super Bowl. I want to say Tampa beat them by 20 points or something. I don't think this happens this time. I think Patrick Mahomes keeps it close.
I'm with that.
Yeah,
I'm with that. I think the key in this entire game is the Philly defense, how they respond to the craftiness of the Kansas City offense.
Mm-hmm.
But I like a close score, high score. I'm with that.
Okay.
But I'm ready to hit some parlays. Now I've already got my first one lined up for you.
You got your first one ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Hit me.
My first one I'd like to say is a little more risk tolerant, like you always talk about when we get into making our mortgage. I mean, this is easy in my mind. And as you mentioned last podcast, we know who is going to score a touchdown. Are we able to predict rushing yards, passing yards? Not always. A lot of the time, not always.
Yeah.
But we can more or less figure out. So
sure.
Here's my three for you.
Okay.
Anytime touchdown scorer, A.J. Brown. They brought him in.
Okay.
They brought him in. Big-time players show up in big-time games.
Okay.
A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown scorer.
Okay.
Player passing TDs. Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5. I know it's at -188, but we're building a parlay here. We need multiple things to happen.
Okay.
That to me is mindless.
Okay.
Mindless.
Okay.
And then the last one I'm going is I'm being a little crafty with this one. Okay.
Okay.
Because I think, and this may sound counterintuitive to my first pick, but A.J. Brown is your over the middle guy. for the Eagles, right? And then Devonta's he's your stretcher. Is how I think about it. So to me, you're shutting down the middle. I think Devonta's going to get some receptions in this game. So I'm looking at player total receptions. I think Devonta gets over 5.5 receptions in this game. 3 in the first half, 3 in the second half. That's my first. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 touchdowns, throwing touchdowns. Devonta Smith, over 5.5 receptions.
5.5 Devonta Smith, 5.5 receptions. Do you know, did you say what the odds are on that?
If you put all of that together, I can tell you that real quick.
What is that?
Let's see. Anytime touchdown score with my boy AJ. Let's see. Player passing TDs. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and that's 1.5, right? Over 1.5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking at a plus 573.
Ooh, 573? Take that to the bank. Take that
Let's
to the
go.
bank. That will happen. I would wonder what's the bet for that in the first half. Like, what's that bet? I would take that bet in the first half. That is so good. I don't think this next one, I don't think is going to get anywhere near that. That is so good. And you're getting better odds than the one I'm about to say. Jeez.
Oh, I'm in. Proceed, sir.
So, and I guess sometimes I try to sculpt these in a way so we hit them all, and I think we just got to be okay with maybe if we hit 2 of these 4 or 2 of the 6, I think we're fine. Because I'm trying to think if all this can really happen in one game.
Fair.
I think Dallas Goedert is going to have a great Super Bowl. The tight end for Philly. I think all the talk is Travis Kelce, and Dallas Goedert says, I'm good. I'm a good tight end, guys. And he is. He is a big body. He was hurt. He's healthy now. So this is called the not Cowboys prop. I don't know. I was trying to think Dallas Goedert. I couldn't think of one. I'm taking 49.5 yards over for Goddard. 49.5, 50 yards. This isn't Kittle, Jared. There's no George Kittle in this game to ruin the parlays from a tight end perspective.
The tight ends have ruined your parlays consistently throughout the playoffs.
Awful. They're loose ends, not tight ends. Where's the Paduch? Oh, he's not listening. Dallas Goedert, anytime touchdown. Give me a TD, Dallas. Big body. Throw him the ball. And then Jalen Hurts over 1.5 touchdown throws.
Oh, so he's throwing too.
He's throwing 2 because he's got to throw 1 to A.J. Brown, and then he throws the other one to Dallas Goedert. GG.
Wow.
You get plus 387 for that. So Dallas over 49.5 yards, anytime touchdown. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 throwing touchdowns in the game.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
387.
And you said that's what, 487?
387. 387.
Oh, 387. Oh, there's a lot of faith in Mr. Dallas.
Yeah. There's some faith here in Mr. Dallas because Dallas is in the Super Bowl. So let's go, Dallas. Come on, Goddard. That's where I'm at.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay.
All right. I'm getting wild here.
Okay.
I'm stepping away from players.
Okay.
So if you scroll all the way down at the bottom of FanDuel, you get all of these interesting, Chiefs total points first half. I'm making a cocktail of what I see down here at the bottom.
Oh, I like the bottom. Bottom.
So so I'm looking right now at Eagle total points first half.
Okay.
And my mind is kind of being blown by what I'm looking at right now. Total points for the Eagles in the first half. I'm getting plus 106 by saying it's over 13.5.
Wow. Over 13.5. Okay.
Yep.
Jeez.
That seems pretty doable.
Ridiculous.
Right there.
That's just stupid. How is that? What? 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns in the first half. And I know, you look at it statistically, majority of points in the Super Bowl are scored in the second half. I understand that. Eagles are too good not to have 2 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
So let's see what they come in the second half, and then you can get plus 100 on them having. Again, you're looking at each half individually. Over 13.5 in the second half.
Oh my gosh.
Is plus 100.
Oh my gosh. Take them both.
I'll take that too.
Jeez.
Easy. Okay. So we'll take both of those. And we're going to sprinkle in some little fun here. Sprinkle in a little fun here. Where do you want to go? All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to the first half winner plus end of regulation winner.
Oh my gosh.
Parlay.
Okay.
So, what I'm gonna say is, I think that Kansas City will be up going into halftime.
Okay.
And that Philly will win the game.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to do a score here. You just have to say who's going to be ahead.
Yep.
Is there a tie option?
There is a tie at plus 2,900.
Oh, baby.
So, but I'm not feeling that wily. If you were to pick tie, that's at plus 10,000.
Okay, that's intriguing. So you're saying overtime? Yeah. What about a tie after overtime? No, I'm kidding. That keeps going forever.
So,
okay.
So all of that, which I don't think is unreasonable whatsoever. So let me take out my previous parlays here. If I'm saying the Eagles more than 14 points in each half, they're going to win the game, which lines up. That's plus 3809.
Plus 3809. So
$20 for this bet, which says the Chiefs will be up at halftime, the Eagles will win the game, and the Eagles will score more than 13.5 points in each half. $20 was winning you $761.96.
Oh my gosh! What if we did $200? Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Wow.
200 gonna pay your mortgage for a while.
All right, so the score is 17-14 Kansas City at halftime.
Yep.
And then Philly just has to win the second half.
Yeah, I don't care what Kansas City does. Half.
They have to win. They have to score 13.5 more points. So, okay, so they just have to. Gotcha.
I'm going all in on this with the big. All of my. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bet both of my parlays. Excuse me.
Don't die on us too. You got to be alive.
I'm going to bet both of my parlays with 2 threes, and then I'm going to put them all together in one super parlay. Because if you look at my bets, I think they can all happen.
Okay, you're going to put them all together.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay. Okay.
So what I say is, we're gonna have some fun, Corey. We're gonna do 2 threes, 2 sixes, and a 12.
2 threes, 2 sixes, and a 12? I don't understand that.
So
2 threes?
You're gonna have 2 threes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have 2 threes. We're each gonna put our 2 threes together and have a 16 parlay. Then we're gonna put both of our 16 parlays together for one massive 12 event parlay.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, are we having 4 threes, 2 sixes, and a 12?
That's it. That's correct.
Oh my gosh. And then you'll never hear from us again because we'll be on an island somewhere drinking water. Water.
So the way that plays out is we'll have 9 bets overall. We'll we'll go 10. What we'll do for the audience is we're gonna bet the Eagles. We're gonna bet the over. We'll put those together as a small 2-team parlay. Okay. That'll be 3. And then we'll have these 7 parlays playing out over the course of the game.
Oh man. Jeez. This is I want this game to happen right now. I'm so excited.
I thought you would like this.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Are you ready for my second 3-teamer?
Yes, bring it on.
Or
Bring it on.
3-legger? Oh, this one's gonna be wily. This one's gonna throw you off the roof here because if we hit all of these, we're making FanDuel won't probably pay us out. I'll give you the first two, and then I'll give you the one that's harder. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, wide receiver for Kansas City. He's gonna score a touchdown.
Whoa!
I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Travis Kelce, of course, will get one, but this guy, tall, big wide receiver, he's been catching balls from Patrick Mahomes. He's going to catch a touchdown. Anytime touchdown, Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
Okay.
Miles Sanders, 70 yards rushing.
Wow!
Kansas City is not a stalwart rushing defense. I believe Philly will be up 10 in the fourth quarter and run the ball, and this team they will run him 9 times in a row. I've seen it multiple times. Sanders. It's just crazy. He could get 30 yards on one drive at the end of the game. So 70 yards rushing. And Jared, the first touchdown scored of the game will also be
Daddy-o.
he's going to score the first touchdown. Miles Sanders will set the tone. They'll get it down to the 4-yard line, and he's going to punch it in. And if these 3 things happen, Sanders scores the first touchdown. He gets 70 yards, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling scores a touchdown anytime in the game, plus 7,187. Give it to Daddy. Come on. That's what I'm talking about.
This 12-team parlay is going to be absolutely insane. Okay, let's talk about a few things, and I'm going to actually put it all together.
Now, hold on. What I can do, this would be my. I want to keep this for my 3-teamer, but for the 12-teamer, I would adjust Sanders to anytime touchdown. For the 12-teamer.
Okay.
Because I would not be able to live with myself if we lost the 12-teamer on the first drive of the game.
Okay, so let me put that together, and I'm going to ask you a question while I'm putting this all together in FanDuel.
Okay.
You historically this season, you with the Chiefs, you have gone to the well, as you have coined.
Gone to the well.
And yet, every single one of our bets today have avoided a very prominent individual on that team. Why is that? Why is that, Corey?
You give any team 2 weeks to game plan. You have the man's brother on your team. All they have to do, I believe, Philly, if I was the defensive coordinator, is we have to stop one individual. That's it. One guy. The quarterback is hurt. They have 0 running game. There is one weapon on the team that has to be stopped, and it's Travis Kelce. And it's like, if Travis Kelce comes out of this game 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, he's the greatest tight end to ever walk this earth. He's better than Gronk, better than Tony Gonzalez, better than Antonio Gates, all of them. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Philly has they are going to game plan for Travis Kelce, and it'll come down to these other players. Are they going to step up? And that's what's going to determine the winner of the Super Bowl. So that's why I've avoided it. I know he's been my guy all year. He very rarely lets us down. I don't think we've lost a bet on Travis Kelce, and I don't know what the over-under is on his catches. That's probably, we should just throw that into the parlay because he'll probably have a lot of catches, but I don't think he'll have a lot of impact. That's why.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so then as I'm continuing to put this together, what are the keys? What are the keys to winning for each team?
I think Philly, it is that run game. So they can't be a team that abandons it because they have basically 4 running backs that get play, right? They got Scott, they got Gainwell, Sanders, Hurts, all four of them run the ball and could all score touchdowns anytime. So that's crazy. But then you have the passing game for Hurts too. So that's why they're so dynamic. But I think Philly controls the game, controls the clock, and I just think they make it uncomfortable for Mahomes to play and then game plan Kelsey. That would be my take on how Philly wins this. Kansas City, Jared, I mean, Patrick Mahomes just is incredible. That's how they win, I think. I don't know what are your thoughts on that?
I think if I'm Kansas City right now and I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm putting a giant chip on their shoulder about why we are the underdog and why this team coming in here that most of these players were not on the previous Philadelphia winning team. Like that is a complete disrespect to the Kansas City defense, is that they're the underdog. It ain't because of the offense, right? Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm telling them, like, well, Mahomes and crew is going to take care of business, but the reason we're an underdog is you guys.
Yeah.
And just chirping in their ear. So to me, for the Chiefs, it has nothing to do with the offense. I'm not worried about them, but it will come down to how containment happens for Jalen Hurts. If you purely make him a pocket passer, can they win? I don't know. He's so dynamic. It's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's what happened to him in that Super Bowl. They wouldn't let him get anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So I would be looking back at that Super Bowl and saying, like, this is what we're about to do to this man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then for Philly, it's to me it's both on defense because the offenses are just so prolific. It's can you get off the field on third down by limiting the magic of Patrick Mahomes. Like, again, him breaking contain, whether he's running or throwing, is just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an utter nightmare because what Kansas City does so well that so many other teams don't do because they know they have Patrick Mahomes is like, okay, what do you do after your first route is done?
Yeah.
Well, you look back and you follow Patrick Mahomes. That's why Kelsey gets so many catches and touchdowns. It's because more than any other team in the NFL, they're playing park yard football.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Like, and that's fun, and everybody likes to play that, and it works. So to me, it's what defensive linebacking crew plus line does a better job of containing the other player's quarterback. Will there be some big plays? There better be.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it honestly comes down to. I think this is won and lost on the front seven of each defense.
Yeah, that's very well said. I think you're right. I mean, that's been those Super Bowls even when, the Patriots go into it with Brady, like, oh, they're going to destroy the Giants, and the Giants just make them uncomfortable, and making Jalen throw, pressuring Mahomes. You're right. I mean, it is always one in the trenches. We win these games in the trenches. The trenches. Why is it the trenches? So I see that. Okay. All right. We'll see what plays out. They still got to play the game.
I'm missing two bets. I think they may be from your first three team, but I'm going to read everything off real quick and you can help me fill in the gaps.
Okay.
So currently I have that the Eagles are going to score over 13.5 points in the first half and in the second half. Kansas City will be up at the half. Eagles will eventually win the game. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown scorer. Dallas Goddard. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Goddard.
Anytime touchdown. Goddard. Anytime touchdown scorer. Miles Sanders, we said anytime touchdown scorer for the means of this, but not for your three team.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Devontae Smith, over 5.5 receptions. Marcus Valdez-Scantling, anytime touchdown scorer. And what else? What are the two that I'm missing?
I think you're missing three. Sanders, 70 yards rushing or more.
Okay.
Did you have Dallas Goddard over 49.5 yards?
Those are the two I'm missing.
Wait, but did you have Jalen Hurts 1.5 touchdowns? Over?
Yes, I did have that.
Okay,
I did have that.
Okay.
So player rushing yard. Is it player rushing yards? You're saying over for Miles Sanders, or is it
over 70 yards? There's like alternate alternate yards.
That's what I mean.
Get the yard, Miles Sanders. He's gonna be eating. He goes, nom, 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 nom.
And then, so let's say you're saying, where is the Dallas Goddard alternate receiving yards? You're saying over, what was it?
49.5.
Oh, okay. So that's
Give me 50. You
that's
can just
player
take
receiving prop.
yeah, or you can do alt receiving yards 50. Either one.
Okay, so over there. And then you're saying Miles Sanders, alternate rush yards over 70. All right, Corey. 12 teams.
Oh my gosh.
$10 down on this 12-leg parlay, and we're walking away with almost $8,000.
Oh my gosh. $100 down would be $80K.
$80K.
Ooh, $80K. Maybe add a little zero on there, Jared. This is very doable. This is so doable. I love it. I
don't know. That's a lot. I mean, when you look at it, we've selected now, I like how we're doing it, that we're doing two sixes and 2 threes. We have said who, if we believe in the over, which is over 50.5, we have predicted 4 of those touchdown scorers.
Yes. But they're all there might be 2 weird ones, but these other ones are like very doable. Like these should happen in the game. Like AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I know is a little bit more out there, but Sanders, I mean, these are all players that score touchdowns. This should happen. Okay, so
I'm 100% with that.
Okay, so then we'll break them down into sixes. We probably don't.
Yep.
I mean, we already know what they are, unless you want to read the odds, or we can post that on our social media.
We'll post it. Like we'll do a big road core post today.
Yeah, we'll do that. Follow the Benjamin Betts Instagram page as well. It's getting
absolutely
getting some more content on there.
We'll see where we land. We've got $7, $10 bets for $100 for Benjamin Betts. Now here's what's crazy is if the 12-1 hit, 7 of our 10 bets will have automatically hit.
That's what I'm saying. We'll be in another country chilling. I want to end with one final thing. And I've been cheating. I already have 2 of these picked, and I'm going to have you go do them. I want a correct score out of you, but I want you get 2 of them. You get 2 of them because these odds are so massive that let's do 2. I'll go first. I already kind of cheated a little bit, and I'm going to stay pretty close with my second one. I'm going Philly 31, Kansas City 28. That's my first one. That's plus 11,000 if that hits. In case I'm off just by a tad, I'm going to go Philly 31, Kansas City 27. That's plus 13,000. So I can visualize this Philly. Like I said, I think they're going to be up double digits going into the fourth quarter or close to it. Kansas City scores, Philly 3 and out, or burn their timeouts, and then Patrick Mahomes has to drive the field to either get him a field goal to tie or a touchdown to win. I can see it, and Philly's defense shows up and stops Kansas City. So that's my 2 scores, 31-28 Philly or 31-27 Philly. We'll put $10 down or $5 down if it doesn't need to be that much on both of those. That's what I'm feeling. That's where I'm staying right here. Do you have
wow.
Is there any?
Okay, I'm doing similar to you, like in that I feel pretty confident about what one of my scores is, but I'm saying it's either going to be Philly 34-31 or Philly 34-27.
Ooh, I like that. What are those odds? 34-31. What's that?
I'm not on the same place as you.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull it up here for us so we know. 34-31.
34-31 Philly or 34-27.
Oh, yeah, that's a little lower odds. 9,500 plus 9,500. 34-27 is plus 11,000.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
What I'm saying is there's a big chance. Man, what's like the biggest odds? 44-39 Eagles is plus 50,000.
Oh my
I
God.
wonder what like the lowest score is. I bet that's like plus 90. Oh no, it's
Is
also
that
plus 50.
2-0? What can I get for
There's
2-0?
no 2-0. You have Kansas City 10, Eagles 7. That is the lowest I can get on here.
I'm tired of being limited. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah, no one do it. Can't do it, won't do it. It'll probably be a low scoring game and then we'll all be off. All right. Hey, as long as there's points scored, we are in a very good spot on all these.
Gotta have. Yeah, we need a lot. We need these defenses to take a little bit of a nap.
Take a little bit of a nap. Defenses. I know we talked about how Philly has a good one, but take a little nappy. All right, Jared, this is the final. I mean, we'll do a recap, but this is our last NFL game of the year. It's crazy.
Oh,
We started. Do you remember the first game of the year? You remember which one it was?
oh wow, no, I do not.
The Bills versus the Rams. That was our first game. And I remember my son was born. I was watching it in the hotel room. And the first heartbreaking loss of our betting season was Devin Singletary. I had under 11.5 longest receiving yard. And I think he had a 12-yard catch in like the fourth quarter. And I just remember thinking, this is going to be a long betting season. This is going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But we did really well. Remember, we went 5-1 our first week. I don't remember.
Yes,
which
we
game
started off
missed.
very strong.
Yeah, we went 5-1.
And have unfortunately petered down as the season moved forward. But the Super Bowl, like we said last week, is where real-time players, big-time players show up.
Big-time players step up in big games. Right here, Jared. Right here. As an old coach and remember the Titans said, the rest of the season, forget about him. Forget about him. This is the Super Bowl. I might have been tweaking up some things there, but
that's okay. The passion is not lost.
The passion is not lost. Well, I'm pumped. Maybe next week or midweek, maybe before we record, I might do a little post how you did on some League of Legends. We'll prep. We'll get ready for the grind for the league, and then we'll get into March Madness. Then we'll do some more league. Then we'll have NBA playoffs. And then there'll be summer league. So we just, we cooking, baby.
Keep going.
We cooking.
We just keep going.
Yeah. So cool, buddy. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on. Let's do this. Let's hit these bets.
All right. That sounds good, man. We will catch y'all next week with Super Bowl wrap up. And like Corey said, back into the NBA where there's been some crazy trades happening. Things are moving like madness. And it's going to be an exciting move on into the spring.
All right. Well, hey, keep those bets going, everybody. Good luck.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Big Daddy. Daddy.